Bureau.
Now, Chinese company Huawei is paying the biggest price of the trade war. Its access to American software and hardware has been cut off. The diplomatic machinery in the US is now working overtime to make sure Huawei loses most of its business. But it seems the Trump administration has failed to make any dent. Huawei has signed 45 commercial contracts with 30 countries. Its latest deal is with Russia to build its 5G network. The company is well on its way to challenge the tech dominance of America. Does it mean that China is the new king of tech? Our next report explores.
Huawei is at the center of the US-China trade war. Washington's crackdown has been intense and sustained. It wants to dry up Huawei's source of revenue, but it's having little impact on China's biggest tech giant. Huawei signed a whopping 45 commercial contracts with 30 countries, the most prominent and lucrative being a deal with Russia's MTS, its largest telecom operator. Huawei will develop its 5G technology. It doesn't stop here. In May this year, Huawei retained its top spot as the world's second biggest smartphone vendor. Its first quarter report showed it sold 58.4 million smartphone units across the globe. So as United States and a handful of reluctant allies vow to shut out the Chinese giant, allies like Russia are propping it up. But it's not just those who are either for or against the Chinese giant. There are a whole host of nations stuck in the middle, countries who have traditionally been closer to the US than China, but are reluctant to ban Huawei from building their 5G networks, as it costs money and time. This includes India. The US is already lagging behind China when it comes to 5G technology, and blocking a market leader may not exactly help. But Donald Trump is not known to back down easily. He has banned all US companies from trading with Huawei. He's insisting that companies deliver. In the latest, Facebook has said that it is no longer allowing pre-installation of its apps on Huawei phones. The ban applies on any phone that has not left the factory. It means WhatsApp, Instagram and Facebook will no longer be available on Huawei phones. While Google too has announced that it would no longer provide Android software for Huawei phones. The Google Android software will only be available for another 90 days, after which the US reprieve for Huawei expires. The move is expected to hit the sales of Huawei smartphones, but Trump is missing the larger message. While Google says it will cut the cord, it has also warned that a sweeping ban on Huawei may run counter to America's attempts at protecting national security. So though the ban may hurt Huawei in the short term, it could force the company and other Chinese firms to become self-reliant by developing more homegrown technologies, hurting the dominance of American companies such as Google in the long term. If China becomes self-reliant and Russia builds its own internet, it will only divide the world into two tech camps, and it may well be the demise of an open, truly worldwide web as we know it. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.